Hi, this is the first video in our video series on Marxist feminism. Marxist feminism, an easy enough phrase to say but difficult to understand. In its simplest terms, Marxist feminism is a political and philosophical term used to describe a variant of everyday feminism. It incorporates and extends upon general Marxist theory to include women and the ways they are exploited through capitalism and individual ownership of property and the means of production. Marxist feminism has a long and rich history that I intend to delve into throughout this video. But first, it's important to grasp at least a simple understanding of Marxism and what Marxist feminism is all about. The theory was first developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, which was later further evolved into a political theory in itself, Marxism. The basis of this theory is the practice of, to put it very simply, communism. Stanford states that Marxism stresses the centrality of work in the creation of human nature itself and human self-understanding. Marxist feminism delves deeper into the meaning of shared property and wealth, and further into the exploitation of women in our current capitalist system. The collapse of Soviet Russia in 1991 is thought of as enough evidence to prove Karl Marx's ideas as a failure. However, at the time of the communist revolution in Russia, Marx also expected the more developed Western countries to revolutionize as well, and this did not happen, which means that the Marx theory of history was incorrect, but not his political theory, due to the fact that Soviet Russia bore no real resemblance to Marx's communism. In fact, he pictured a democratically run state overlooked by the working class. This did not occur in Soviet Russia. Although Marx's theory was never truly brought to life, he still includes many important insights into the work of sexism and classism. For example, his partner Engels believed that women did not experience the amount of sexism and oppression before the development of other means of protection, including the capitalist mode. He believed that in early societies, women were not subordinate to men. Engels believed that the low status of women in Western societies was not a result of biology, but rather of these historical developments, as stated in Introduction to Women and Gender Studies by Melissa Gillis and Andrew Jacobs. Now that you have the most basic ideas of Marxist feminism, ideas and theories, let's dive into some more important figures for Marxist feminism throughout world history. Specifically starting with Simone de Beauvoir. Beauvoir was a French writer in the 1900s. She was an existential philosopher, political activist, and social theorist, although she never personally saw herself as a philosopher. Some of her most notable works include She Came to Stay, Existentialist Ethics, Le Temps des, The Second Sex, The Mandarins, and Les Inseparables. Of those works, her most famous was her 1949 treatise, The Second Sex, in which she goes into detail about the treatment of the second sex, or women, throughout history. The Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy states, Beauvoir maintains the existentialist belief in absolute freedom of choice and the consequent responsibility that such freedom entails, by emphasizing that one's projects must spring from individual spontaneity and not from external institution, authority, or person. There is absolutely no doubt that Beauvoir is one of the most influential political theorists of her time. Another notable Marxist feminist is Indira Gandhi. Gandhi was a revolutionary communist as well as a writer and philosopher. In fact, she was a member of the banned Communist Party in India. Gandhi was the daughter of two communists and was born on March 24, 1954. She attended Elphinstone College, where her love for politics began to flourish. She was a big part of the progressive youth movement and the Dalit Panthers movement in India. Some of her works include Fascism, Fundamentalism, and Patriarchy, People's War Have Shattered the Hesitations of the Woman of Dandakaranya, and Philosophical Trends in the Feminist Movement. A famous statement of hers is, Class struggle is not merely an economic struggle. It is a struggle between the oppressed and the oppressor for control over the main means of production and the political life of society. It includes the struggle in economic, political, social, and ideological spheres. And a key aspect of revolutionary class struggle is but political struggle, the struggle for seizure of political power. Marxist feminism is a complex theory with rich history, and we are only touching the very tip of the iceberg in this video. Thanks.